mentioned on concussions and athletes. Is there anything that you look back and say, could we have done more, or that you wish you could have done more with that, or do you think that you did everything you guys could do with kind of the sensitive topics like that?
Well, I think you can never do enough. I think that's a fair assessment. The problem really becomes it's the resources we have to perform our jobs. We can enforce as many rules as we want, but the enforcement of those rules and making sure the schools enforce them is a very difficult situation. And you can use concussions as a perfect example. We can say anything we want this and we want that done, but ultimately it rests in the schoolhouse to get that work done. I probably maybe I would have wished I could have given more time to talking to parents, parent group meetings. We have a presentation that we make, and I probably made it about a dozen times, but I probably could have been out every night of the week talking to different schools about the importance of high school athletics. It's educational-based athletics. It's important, don't get me wrong, but it has its part in the education system, no different than science and math. At our section finals in basketball, we meet with the captains and the coaches and administrators before every final. And I make the comment to them, I said, you don't trash talk in math and science. At least you're not supposed to. And so let's not do it on the basketball court. Let's let the game play out, respect the game, and I think everybody will be better. I think we as an organization will need to continue to work on that for many, many years to come.
You were a visionary for the California high school football games. What was that process of creating the state football games like? And do you believe that there's room for the format to still grow and to be tweaked?
That's a great question. And I don't remember the exact year. I want to say it was 2001 or 2002. I was at a state federated council meeting in San Diego. And the whole issue of state playoffs came up, and somebody was saying, well, we'll never have state football playoffs. And so after the meeting, John Williams, my longtime assistant, and I went out and we were staying an extra day, and we went and played golf with our president at the time, Charlie Berger, who was in San Juan School District. So I said to Charlie, we can have state football. It can happen, but it's got to be put in writing and somebody's got to make it happen. And Charlie looked at me and said, then let's do it. So, it took us a year to write the proposal up because I had to get the support of my board to take us forward. It wasn't, I had a vision, but my board had their own rules in terms of one of them being, we don't care what you take forward, Pete, but we don't want to lose any of our 10 regular season games. So that was the first hurdle that we had. So it took a while. I think once it was put on the table, there were some people, I think they kind of laughed at us. They didn't think it would ever happen. And I remember telling John, we're just going to hold the line and we're going to let's just see where this goes. And it didn't have every section support, but it had enough support to pass. And now I notice when we go in the rooms to pick the teams, all the sections want to go. So obviously it has worked. Does it have a chance to expand? Absolutely, Jim. We're in the middle right now of proposing an expansion of state football. As it currently is, we have 5 divisions right now. We have the open, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you recall, one time it was just we picked one team and we played one team in the South. Then we went to the regional concept. And we've had different games the week before, and then the 2 teams play for the state championship. What we have put on the table, I put out there last year, and it's in the process right now of being reviewed by people, is that every section winner gets to go to a bowl game, a state championship game. So you may ask, well, is it extra weeks? No, but instead of there being 5 state championship games, there might be 12. So I think we have it down to 24 teams in the north and 24 in the south. So when we go into that room and we select the teams, we'd have 24 teams. We'd have to bracket them according to enrollment, maybe tweak them a little bit based on competitive equity. And then we'd have 12 games in the north and 12 games in the south. Following week, there'll be 12 state championship games, and this is what I think is really, really critical. One of the things I think is really good about this is it would be in 4 different parts of the state. So there'd be 3 games in Sacramento. This is just what my vision is. 3 in Sacramento, maybe 3 in the Bay Area, 3 in Fresno, and 3 in LA. And then where those games would be based on how the state wanted to place those games. So if you take a look at that concept, what it really boils down to is the kids are going to decide who wins and loses on the field, not adults. We've been through that, and that's not a lot of fun. So with this, everybody gets a chance.
Right. On that same topic, take us inside a football bowl selection meeting. Did the debates ever get heated with the 10 section commissioners fighting for their schools to be represented in the championship games? And how did you go about preparing yourself to fight for Sac-Joaquin section teams in the state selection meetings?
Yes, it does get heated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think what everybody needs to realize, I work with 9 great colleagues, and we're not going to pull the wool over each other's eyes. We all come into that meeting, and you had better be prepared, or you won't survive. And I tried to, when I went in, if I did not think there were schools from our section that would qualify because of maybe who they had lost to, I would tell the coach after the section final, say, hey, you've had a great year, but I don't see there's any way I can get you into this game. I just don't have any ammunition. Maybe your schedule wasn't strong enough. Maybe there's another team that's better. It depends on the situation. But I always tried to go in with about 5 or 6 different points. And I had John Williams on my side, and we prepared. And I remember the time that we got Escalon in, when I talked about them and them winning it. They were up against, I think, Marin Catholic. Marin Catholic obviously has a great program. And we went in and we held back a little ammunition and waited until the right times to introduce it. That one, and probably the Grant one, was the biggest debate for us in terms of getting people in. I think we've been treated very fair by everybody. I think our teams that deserved to get in got in. Sometimes they didn't get in. It was unfortunate. I know one year Vacaville didn't get in. Del Oro did get in. That was not a lot of fun for me, because I had to share that with the Vacaville people. I think with this new proposal, Vacaville would get to go too. And so with Del Oro, it's a win-win for everybody.